Good morning, viewers. How
Hello.
are you doing?
Good morning, Bibby. I hope you're well. You've had a
Prof,
great week.
I am coming to you, Prof. I'm coming to you. As I said, I'll greet our viewers first. So, viewers, thank you for
When they
joining
go
us.
low, we go high.
Well, whatever. Anyways, viewers, thank you for joining us this morning. Well, it is 9:30. Please do let your friends and family know that SonRise is live in case some people have forgotten, right? So please do that. Prof, good morning to you. How are you doing, sir?
So, you know what? Yes, we're high. I'm very well indeed. Thank you. How are you? I need to remind myself. I think you skimmed over that or you glossed over that a little bit. Well, it's 9:30 today, isn't it? So we announced last week that SonRise is starting at 9:30, starting today, and the main service will start at 10. So I think that anybody looking, I hope you didn't, try to tune in at 9 o'clock and you wondered what happened. It's because, like we said, the times have shifted forward for us anyway.
That's right, yes. But Prof, did you enjoy the extra hour and a half sleep kind of
what
before
extra
SonRise?
What extra hour? Isn't what happens that you look at the time and think, oh yeah, I've got another hour to stay awake, and then it's just a second.
No, it's the fact that your body actually wakes up way before the hour and you're thinking, why am I awake? I'm meant to still be sleeping.
Exactly.
But anyway, it's good to be back on the show again this morning. Thank you all for joining us. As I said, please let your friends and family know that your favorite Sunday morning show is live. So yes, please come and join us. Prof, today it's just one of those days, we're so glad the time has moved. We've gained an hour on this show now. We've gained an hour and a half. It's probably going to last for today because by next week we'll be used to our normal time and all. And as part of us today being a special day as well, I was thinking of, let's just talk about appreciation and what it means to us. I was speaking to someone earlier during last week, and this was in the workplace, by the way, and we're talking about, it's been the Black History Month, and this is the last day of the month, and we've been talking about how we are celebrating Black people's achievements over the years and whatnot and everything. And that person said to me that, well, do you know what? It feels like as if in October of every year, the Black people have to justify why they should be celebrated. Like you're constantly having to talk about how great you've performed, what you've achieved and whatnot and everything. And I was saying it from appreciation, like to me, I chose to, this is my own view, right? I chose to celebrate Black History Month as an appreciation of the Black race. Basically, that's what it is. So now that conversation went on for so long and we kind of just left it as that. But then it got me thinking into appreciation and what it means and how easily we can forget the people that we truly need to appreciate, or maybe we take for granted, or maybe not even take for granted. You're just like, well, for instance, if I were to use my own husband as an example, I don't think I would say, oh, thank you very much. Like the way that you have a party. So let's say I'm having a party and my husband is there and I'm trying to give a speech and I go, I want to thank my husband for all his support and whatnot and everything. To me, it's like, that's a one-day event kind of a thing. But do I do that every day or every single time? And yes, I just want us to talk about appreciation. And why do you think that, or do you think that as a people, we struggle to show our appreciation to the people that really deserves it?
Well, I think that you've made a sweeping statement there, and I want to push back on that a little bit. I don't think that in general people don't show appreciation, right? I think it's a particular group of people, and it's this idea of things being taken for granted. I think that we're all taught it's good manners. Growing up, we're taught good manners, good behavior. When people do stuff for you, you say thank you, you show appreciation, you show gratitude, and so forth. The thing is that many of us tend to be very good at doing that for people who are far away or who are not very close to us, right? And so when it comes to those people who are close to us, then sometimes we may not be as quick. And when we say appreciation, maybe we should look at that word in two ramifications. The first is, of course, what we've alluded to so far, which is that of showing gratitude and saying thank you and so forth. But appreciation is beyond that. The word appreciation also connotes this idea of recognition and celebration, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's a bit like somebody gives you a gift. You appreciate the gift, but also you appreciate the gift. Appreciate the gift in the sense that I appreciate the fact that you've given me something. Thank you. I'm grateful, right? So somebody comes at Christmas and gives you a gift that, honestly, after that day, you'll never use again. But just the gesture, you're grateful.
That's right.
And you say thank you, and you mean it. You're grateful that you thought of me. But then the gift goes somewhere at the back of a locker somewhere. You never look at it again, right? And so you appreciate the gesture, but maybe not so much the gift, right?
True.
You know,
that's true.
So there are two elements to it. And so when we talk of actually showing appreciation, I think that we're saying, certainly I'm saying, beyond gratitude, beyond appreciating gestures, there is also celebrating, recognizing the value of what we have, right? And that's something that I know I struggle with in different settings, and not just in terms of people. So think of, for example, people that live, say, within a cosmopolis, a metropolis like London.
Yeah.
Right? And there are so many sites, so many things to go and see. But you ask people who've lived there for a long time, you know, some. Have you ever been to London Zoo? No, not really. To London Museum? No. Have you been to the British Library? No. Why? Well, at some point, right? But then the same person travels to Rome, travels to, Philadelphia, other places to see these sites, because it's right by you at your backyard, in your backyard. You kind of think, at some point I will get round to it, or almost you devalue it somehow. Not quite consciously, but those things that are farther away from you, you almost place a little bit more value simply because they are inaccessible, or at least not as accessible, right? And so I think this brings you to the point you made. You used the word or expression, you said, taking for granted, right? And I think that's one of the things we see, that this question of appreciation, the other side of it is something being taken for granted, and there's a balance we need to strike, because on the one hand, when you take something for granted, it almost feels like you don't appreciate it. Right?
True, that's true. Yeah.
On the other hand, when you don't take something for granted, it may look like you appreciate it more. But if I were to ask anybody, right? If I were to ask you, you're a parent, Bibby, and I said, if every time you gave your child food to eat, and the child is saying thank you with tears in her eyes, in the way, how would you feel about that? Because at some point you kind of start to think, are you saying that you weren't expecting me to give you food every day?
That definitely will make me feel very bad. At some point I pretty much wouldn't want the thank you, because I'm not sure why giving you food will make you be crying and be so grateful, like you've been starved. Unless you understand, unless you've been starved. But if this is the norm, you get food when it's time to eat, and you come and say, oh, thank you, but not with tears and whatnot. So yeah, I see your point on, like, if it's too much, it can get a bit worrying.
Maybe it's not about being much. It's about, I think it's that balance. I think there's a balance, right? On the one hand, I think there's some part of it that cherishes being taken for granted, in the sense that this person just knows you're going to be there. They don't have to, like I said, the child doesn't have to. They know, they expect that there will be food. They expect that mommy will take care of me, right? And you almost feel bad, like you said, when there's a reaction that suggests that maybe this was in doubt.
That's right. Yeah.
So there's that balance. On the one hand, there is the balance of saying, you know what, even though this happens all the time, but I should not get to the point of taking for granted so much so that I don't even appreciate the value of it. On the other hand, that also should not keep me, even when I'm able to take stuff for granted, that should not keep me from showing gratitude for the gesture.
That's right. Absolutely. Right? Yeah.
So that's why you would expect, your child to say, thank you, mommy, and yet every time I give you something, you better say that.
I say thank you. Yeah.
Even though you know it's going to happen, but you say it because you're appreciating the gesture. So I think that's the thing. So there are two elements to it, right? One element to it is what I said about appreciating the gesture, which, like you said, can be in the moment, and then the other one is appreciating the value.
Yeah, that's right.
And I know we're coming to our spotlight minute now, but I think we'll pick this up when we get back. But Bibby,
oh yes, we should definitely. We're going to pick it up when we come back. Viewers, please do not go anywhere. We are still on this topic of appreciation, and it's probably about that time where you reach out to your friends and family as well, people that you want to appreciate. Do it very quickly before we come back. When we come back, we'll be our spotlight minutes. See you shortly.
See you.
You are at war, even if you did not know it. Becoming a believer is enrollment into warfare. But our warfare is not against flesh and blood. It is spiritual. Witches, warlocks, wizards, demons, devils, and more are naturally arrayed against us. Yet, in Christ, the victory is already guaranteed, though the warfare must still be prosecuted. How do we win this war? From 7:25 p.m. every Wednesday this month, it's going to be a masterclass on spiritual warfare. Come learn how to really win the warfare behind the scenes. This is not one you want to miss. Invite someone along too. They will thank you later. See you there.
Hey sis, good
Hi.
morning to you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you guys. How are
Welcome
you?
back on the show.
I know, round two.
Round two, right?
right?
Yes. You know what that means, though? Whatever you scored in round one, you go
Exactly.
You better
I've
have
got
to get more.
What is the latest score? What's going on in terms of the scoreboard?
We're
The
actually
target
on
is
7.
8.
Is
Well,
it
yeah.
8?
7
It's
is
7.
The top.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the target is 8. That's what I mean. If you
Okay.
want to be at the top, right, you need to get to 8. But
Oh, yes.
having
No
said
pressure.
that, you know, I know you've been here before, but some people may not know that. And there are new viewers who want to know a little bit more about Janet. So why don't you tell us one thing about yourself that those watching may not know?
Okay, hi everybody. It's nice to see you. One thing that you don't know, which has become quite new to me of recent, is that I've got a 16-year-old daughter. So yeah, this is crazy. As a mother, having a 16-year-old.
16. So you
my
when you were
God.
Mind blowing. I know I don't look old enough.
Wow, sis. Check you
Wow.
out. Oh my God.
But it's a new phase and it's like, wow.
Fantastic. Well done. Well done. Well, you know what?
Thank
Wherever
God.
it is that you're using, you have to share your notes with me, right? So
All black crap. We know this.
we don't. All right,
with that,
sis.
guys.
Thank you for that. Wow. That's really amazing. You know, like wow, I'm still kind of wowing in my head, trying to get my head around this. And I hope I can get through spotlight minutes without thinking still that your daughter is 16.
I know, right?
You know what you're here for this morning? We said this is your second time,
I'm ready.
like round 2.
Yes.
So, but of course, remember the last time you came, we had just one game. But today there are 2 games, and you have to decide on which one you would like to go for. So the first one is the All About You, where Prof will ask you a lot of questions, random questions, and you would answer as many as possible in 30 seconds. And then the second option is Tell Me Something. That is where I will give you a word, and then you will use that word as many times as possible under 30 seconds. So what will be your option this morning?
Definitely All About You.
Ah, wow. Maybe we'll find out you have it. Maybe we'll find out you have a 20-year-old son. Who knows?
Oh my God, no, there's no son.
Okay, sis. So remember, your time is only 30 seconds. So if you can't see the timer on the screen, don't worry. I'll let you know when your time starts and when it ends. And so, as I always say, if Prof reads a question to you and you're not sure, just say pass so you can read another question. And can I quickly just say, please, we do not want and we will not accept don't know or none. Yes, none isn't an answer. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Are you ready?
All right,
sis?
I'm ready.
Prof, are you ready?
Ready.
All right, great. So sis, your time starts now.
What's your favorite sport?
Football.
What did you want to be when you as a child?
Doctor.
Where's your favorite destination in the world?
Thailand.
Favorite internet site?
Pinterest.
The first concert you ever attended?
Spice Girls.
One show you never ever miss an episode of?
Friends.
Your favorite band?
Spice Girls. Destiny's Child, really.
Random food you hate? You know you could
Oh
have
my
got
God,
9.
you almost did it. She got 7.
That's what I
Did I get
mean.
7?
You could have got 9 with the way you were going. You could have got
I
9.
know. I don't know what it was. I think it was like Spice Girl thing.
Yeah, that was your last concert or first concert or whatever that was. That was it. Anyway, well done. That was good.
Wow, well done, sis. Well done. Well, third time.
Holy Spirit,
You're probably
activate.
like aiming for 10. Holy Spirit activates, right? All
That
right,
is good.
sis.
Well done.
Thank you, guys.
so
Thank
much.
you. I love
So good
it.
to
Love
see
the
you
show.
very
again.
much.
Yes, we'll see
Well,
you
thank
soon.
you.
Okay?
Thank you for that feedback. Yes.
All
Good.
right. Take care. Thank you.
All right. Have a
Bye.
good week.
You
Take care, guys.
too.
God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.
What if you have more going for you than you even know? What if your potential has not been truly realised? What if you were more powerful than you ever imagined? What if your God is even bigger than you could have ever thought? This November, let us go on a journey of discovery and uncover truths that will change our lives forever. Every Sunday at House on the Rock London, it's going to be discovery after discovery. Join us in person or online, starting with our SonRise talk show now at 9:30 a.m, followed immediately by our worship experience at 10 a.m. Don't keep this to yourself. Invite someone along too. It's going to be revelatory.
Oh, awesome. That was really good, you know.
Yeah.
That was so good. But in the spirit of appreciation that we were talking about. So, Janet, thank you so much for joining
Well
us this
done.
morning. It was so good to have you back. Yes. And also to all of our guests so far. Thank you all.
Yes, something is coming up, in a couple of, about 6 weeks or so. We won't let you know the exact date, you see it coming.
Yes.
We're coming up to the 1-year anniversary of SonRise, and something special is going to, something special is in store for that. But anyway, before we get to that, I just wanted us to pick up from where we stopped last time. We're talking about appreciation, right? Yeah, and talking about 2 elements of appreciation when we appreciate a gesture. And so showing gratitude, the gratitude element of it. And then there is the celebration, the acknowledgement, the recognition element of it. And so when we say, why don't you appreciate me? It means that I'm saying, well, recognize something in me, the value that I bring. So I think maybe if we just spend the next couple of minutes, a few minutes that we've got, and think of instances where either we felt appreciated, over or under appreciation, or just the right level of appreciation, because that happens all the time, right? Sometimes at work, sometimes at home, sometimes in other settings. So Bibby, why don't we
I'll give you an example of something, and this probably isn't like, it's not a direct example to your question, but I found it very funny, and I just want to share it. So I remember that, and this wasn't even, I can't even say when I was growing up, because I was already like 17 or 18 when I had this experience. So there was this particular elderly person that I got to know when I came into the country here, and like anytime she did anything for anyone, it was always a case of, so you would say, oh, thank you very much, ma, on that spot, right? And then there was always a need to call her after and still say, oh, thank you so much for what you did yesterday. I really appreciate it and everything. Initially, it was okay. I mean, I was brought up to be very respectful anyway. But at some point, I started to think, hang on, because it was getting to the point where I was being forced to now have to say thank you to this person, even though I'd said thank you on the very first day. And then so to me, I think I got to the point where I started to think that, okay, yes, some people will just say thank you to you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they appreciate what you've done for them or they acknowledge what you've done, And it's like sometimes it might even be a case of, yes, I appreciate the gift, not that I appreciate you, the giver of the gift, or I appreciate the giver of the gift. And as you said earlier, you alluded to this saying that it's like Christmas period. I mean, Christmas is actually a culprit for this, because you get so many gifts that, oh, you really kind of appreciate the gesture and everything, but not necessarily the gifts that you've been given. So for me, an example of where I feel that I have been appreciated, I don't really take note of these things, because it's like, I would say maybe if I've done something to someone and someone called me. Okay, so the other day I was speaking to a younger girl, and we're trying to work out how she could get into my line of work and everything. And then I just did what I needed to do, basically. For me, it was more of I did what I needed to do, and it clicked. So she got what she wanted. And she was all over, oh, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. And mom called me, was thanking me, was praying. And to be honest with you, at that point, that was when I actually felt like, oh, wow, this means I've actually done something really good. I felt the appreciation. So it was so genuine. It wasn't, I didn't have to think or anything else. So for me, that would be my example. So I don't know about you, if maybe you had the opposites. I don't know.
I would say
because you're not nice.
I'll give an example of something that often happens, right? So in the work setting, you see how it is that if you've had a good relationship with your colleagues anyway, and then you're leaving or somebody is leaving, then they have this event where everybody's saying nice things about you, but they probably never said all of that when you were.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is so true. Yes.
So I had a colleague who left, and he'd been in the company for I think 5 years or so. And then, I was having a chat with kind of a senior vice president in the organization on something else, and she was saying, oh, I'm going to say, I don't know what to say about this person. And she was just saying really nice things about him. I said, well, the way to hear you talk about this guy, you almost make me want to leave. So I need to say, I said, I'll just stay a couple of years and I'll leave so that you say nice things. But I think it's one of those things, right? Where's the balance? You can't every day somebody comes in and you start saying, oh, here comes the wonder, the myth, the legend, the man, all of it. It just gets a bit tiresome, right? But on the other hand, you don't want to wait until people are leaving.
Until they're leaving to let them know.
Before you appreciate it. That's why it's important that we find a way somehow to show appreciation for those things, even the things that we can't take for granted. Like I think you made a point there, which is important for us to recognize there's a gift and there is a giver.
That's right.
And we don't always only recognize the gift. Let's also appreciate the giver. Yes, it's wonderful that we can take that giver for granted, and we can take the gift for granted. But you know what? Let's not lose sight of the fact that it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't,
absolutely.
Right? Somebody stays at a particular place of work for 10 years, 15 years, and they're always there, and then people cannot take them for granted. The day they decide to leave, everybody is shocked,
Absolutely.
And so, we are coming to the service. Something is coming up, right? And having set the stage with everything we've said, Bibby, I'm going to ask you to tell us what's happening today.
Yes, guys. Remember, as we started today, I said today is a special day. It is our pastor's appreciation service today. Woo, 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 woo. And so, from SonRise, we've been talking about appreciation and showing, acknowledging people, and so showing them that we appreciate them. And on a more serious note right now, from SonRise, we truly appreciate our Pastor Tammy. We thank you for all your support on the show, and also to all of our viewers as well, and our guests who have been a part of this. We meet some of you, and the feedback has been so great. You didn't have to say anything, but you always try to tell us something. So thank you all so much. Today is going to be fantastic. It's going to be fun. We will have Pastor Tammy just sitting down, enjoying all the love and the wishes and everything. So, but Prof, it's time for service. And I can't wait to go into service today. This is one of the most exciting times, most exciting services I always look forward to. So, Prof, please take us into service.
Well, nothing more to add. It's a special day. And just bear in mind everything we've said. Let's not just appreciate the gift. Let's not just appreciate the word, but let's appreciate the vessel through which the gift is given, even as we appreciate the gift giver. So today, from SonRise and from the church and from everybody else whose lives you've touched, Pastor Tammy, we appreciate you. And as we appreciate you, we appreciate, of course, Pastor Abisoye and everybody who helps you to be who you are to us. God bless you guys, and see you at the service.
See you.